BG Wealth Sharing Trades Update. As of May 2 of 2026, unfortunately, we have not done any single trade for today because prior to the scheduled, it was postponed and there was drama going on. So I don't really understand what it is, but the professor just halted the trading with this reason that the DSJ encountered some problem with their IPO listing, and members or BG members need to cooperate, need to pay this tax of 12%. So I'm a little bit curious what it is, and also sketchy. Like, why do we need to pay this 12% tax? Like in my case, I have not even withdraw money from the account. So like this is very frustrating. But I will just go with the process. So if I go to my asset right now, this is as of today, May 2, 2026. So I do have a total asset of $43,268.57. And as you know, like I am documenting my journey with BG World Sharing since I joined back in January until now. So that's almost like 3 months and a half, maybe. So if I will go through with their, what they plan for every members to pay at least 12% of your total asset. So that will cost me $5,192. So that's a big amount. But they say once you pay, basically, I'm thinking this is like a ransom, because my money has been locked here in BG Wealth, and if I do not do anything, so we're just only given like 5 days from May 2 to May 6 to comply on this. So if we cannot put in this dollar amount, 12% tax, our account will be restricted or banned, like it will be closed. So basically, a lot of people will lose money on this, especially for those who have bigger amount, those having 6 digit. Imagine if you have like 100,000 and you're paying 12%, that's too much, right? And imagine if you have even more. So the bigger money you have, the bigger tax you'll be paying. So I don't know if this will work. And also, because prior to this, what they did actually is they have this IPO promotion. So every member, at least, you will bring one person who will deposit at least $1,000, and you will get the third signal. So this really entices a lot of people who are members of BG to go out and to refer someone into the program. But unfortunately, this backfires now because like those people that was newly referred, some of them, like even from third world countries, like from my relatives in the Philippines, so they can no longer recuperate because they don't have that dollar amount. Like for $1,000 deposit, you need to pay this $120 as a ransom for this tax. Like like $120 is big enough in the Philippines. So I don't think maybe a lot of people will not really recover from this, and their account will be banned forever. But here in North America, for my case, good thing I have the dollar amount because I just sold my stock back on Thursday. So basically, that will settle on Monday, hopefully, or Tuesday. So I do have enough time really to move money into the DSG account because it's just the same principle, like you're putting money into your exchange account before moving it to the trade. So the same process. So you are transferring from your, like for my case, I'm using Simple Cryptos, that's a brokerage, and then I'm sending it to this external wallet, my wallet here in DSJ. So I will still go with the process, although I'm very sketchy. I don't know if they will, do what they promise, because they said like once you deposit its amount, your account will be reactivated, and coming on May 7, you can continue with the trading. But if you think like there will be no more people investing in BG World because they just rug pull out, those investors, like those, there will be no more fresh money that will coming from outside because no one will believe BG World anymore. So basically, they destroyed their business overnight with this move. So I don't know what the management is thinking. So if they just want to, scam people, that's really bad because they're vision actually is to help alleviate poverty throughout the world. So how can they alleviate poverty when, like, they're crashing their dreams, like they're taking people's account, like their money, they're closing it, like, I don't know whatever to say, but this is really bad. This is really bad. So, still, me, as a very optimistic person, I will still go through with this. I will deposit the amount that I mentioned earlier, the 12%, and hopefully I can recover this asset of mine. So I do have still plan though. So if I can recover this one, because they said this amount of money will just be returned back to the account. So if that's the case, then, I'll just count maybe a few days and then I'll just get back the 12% that I deposited into this account and then continue with the trade. But the problem though, as I mentioned earlier, how does BG World Sharing survive after all of this? Because no one will believe them. No one will put new money into the system. But they said that we're traders first before doing the referral program. But still, like, you can no longer get new people or new blood into the program. So now, my issue is like, what really caused all of this. So I would like to point you out because, like, actually, Professor Bird sent me some information, and I'll just read you this one here. So this is a message by Professor Bird to me. So that the DSJEX has been planning its IPO since 2005, and in recent months, traffic and membership numbers have also increased significantly, meaning all preparation for this listing are complete. However, after a period of investigation, it was discovered that a portion of the negative articles currently circulating online originated from the release and dissemination of information by members of BG Team. The posts completely distort the facts. As online public opinion continues to ferment and impacts expands globally, the relevant review departments have taken separate isolation review measure against the DSJEX Finance Department to ensure the independence, objectivity, and data accuracy of the review process. So even some members exploited platforms and mechanisms and engaged in unauthorized practices with individuals' account, conducting arbitrage and taking shortcuts. These actions involve serious violations such as personal tax evasion, directly impacting core data for DSJEX, including financial statement, fund flows, and the authenticity of records. This has resulted in related data temporarily failing to fully meet capital market regulatory standards and audit requirements. Therefore, a comprehensive overhaul is now necessary and normal operation resume upon completion of the overhaul. So I don't know if what's your stance of this, but to think of, like, if you are bringing someone into the program, you're vetting on it, right? Like, you're asking for the information, their ID. That's the use of it. So I don't know, because basically for me, this is the fault of BG and DXG Exchange while bringing this bad people into the platform. But why, like, let your investors suffer from all of this? So I will just continue reading. To address the above issue, all users must complete tax reconciliation and account standardization within the specified time frame. So each member needs to complete a 12% tax fee reconciliation for their DSJEX accounts between 5 p.m. Eastern Time, May 2 until May 6 to meet the audit requirements. So there's an example right here. So if your balance is $1,000, so you need to pay a tax fee of $120. So in my case, I have a very big amount. So I'll be paying $5,192 for my total asset in BG World. So that's too much. That's a big amount of dollar, and I'm not even guaranteed if that the audit process will be a success, that I can get back my account. So it's really a gamble, but I will still gamble, because before I entered, there's so many red flags already with BG, but I just ignored it. I'll just go through because I'm always a risk taker, and I do see people withdrawing from BG Wealth. So that's why my sister also get involved. So I just get involved myself as well, and right now this is really a problem. So I don't know how we resolve it, because we also involve our relatives back in the Philippines and some friends right here in Canada. So it's really bad. It's really bad. But hopefully we can move on to this. So to continue, it's important to note that this tax is solely for compliance processing and reporting. Once the process is complete and approved, the platform will return the 12% tax amount to your personal DSJ account, where it can be used and withdrawn as normal. So I don't know, guys. So if you believe this or not, it's up to your, judgment. If it's up to your discretion. But for me, I'm just telling you, I will just go ahead and still do this process, invest this 12% that they're asking, and hopefully I can get back my asset, because really, like, I really want to continue this one until December, because that's my original plan. When I first entered, I do have already set a budget that I will risk for BG well. So I set a budget of 20,000 US dollars. So I invested so far a total of 14,000. So I just short of 6,000. So maybe this is it. Like I will use the 6,000 in order for me to complete this 20,000 gamble, and I'll be taking this risk. So pay 12% of your account balance if you don't know how much you need to pay. So contact Elena. This is his assistant. She will calculate it for each of you. The deposited method is the same as your existing deposit method of a DSGX. So again, I'll be doing this. I will push through. Hopefully this Monday or Tuesday I can deposit my money to cover my account. My dad, I think, as well, will push through. My sister, I don't know with one of my sister, but hopefully she will, because actually BG brought some closeness to our family, because we have this GC in Messenger, like a group chat within the family. So we communicate every day because of this BG. And now if BG is gone, so we'll be going to our separate ways again. So this also brought something good, and this is the only bad thing that happened so far. So hopefully this will be resolved. And thank you for listening for my chat. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.